All right, today we're going to talk about a really powerful way to think about willpower. It's called the crystallization of will, and honestly, it could completely change how you approach self-discipline. We're going to shift it from feeling like a constant, draining battle to something that feels, well, almost natural.
So let's start with a question that I think we've all asked ourselves. Why does it feel so hard? You know the drill, right? You make a new resolution, you try really, really hard for a while, but somehow you end up right back where you started. It's incredibly frustrating. So let's dig into why that happens. Now, the source material describes this state as a weak mind. And look, that's not a judgment, not at all. It's just a description of that feeling, that state where your best intentions just don't seem to stick. You can feel guilty, you can repent, but it's just not enough to make a real, lasting change. The old habits just seem to have this gravitational pull.
But what if, instead of constantly fighting your own impulses, you could change the very structure of your mind? I mean, fundamentally. Well, that's exactly where this idea, the crystallization principle, comes into play.
The whole idea is built around this amazing scientific analogy that makes willpower feel, well, real and tangible. Just picture it. All your thoughts, your desires, your energy, it's all just kind of floating around in your mind like particles in a chemical solution. It's full of potential, for sure, but it's also disorganized and easily shaken up.
So think about how a crystal actually forms. It's a super simple three-step process. You introduce one tiny seed crystal into that solution. Then, almost like magic, the other particles are just naturally drawn to it. And over time, that tiny seed grows and grows until it becomes this massive, strong, solid structure. It's not about force, it's about creating a center for everything else to organize around.
And here is the big aha moment. What if our willpower could be built in the exact same way? What if we could just stop fighting our minds all the time and start working with them? This principle suggests we can plant one tiny seed and just let our mental energy naturally crystallize around it, building strength from the inside out.
So, okay, how do we actually do this? How do we apply it? Well, it all begins with that all-important first step. You gotta plant the seed. This seed has a name. It's called a seed vow, or in some traditions, a Sankalpa. And listen to this key detail. It has to be primary class level. We're talking kindergarten level simple here. This is not the time to decide you're going to run a marathon next week. No, this should be a tiny, specific, almost laughably easy promise you make to yourself.
And it could really be anything. Making your bed every single morning, taking a 5-minute walk, doing just one single task with your full, undivided attention. See, the power isn't in what the task is. The power is in your unwavering decision to just see it through, no matter what.
Okay, so you've planted your tiny seed. Now for the really cool part, the growth. And this whole process hinges on one simple, powerful rule.
That's it. That's the engine of growth. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's not about feeling passionate every day. It is about the relentless, almost robotic act of repetition. You just do it, and do it, and do it.
And this is the absolute heart of the matter. It doesn't matter how hard your vow is. In fact, easier is better to start. What matters, what's absolutely crucial, is that you do it no matter what. You're sick, you do it. You're tired, you do it. You have a million excuses, doesn't matter, you still do it. That unbroken chain of commitment is everything.
And remember that crystal analogy? This is where it really comes alive. Every single time you honor that vow, you're strengthening that seed crystal. It acts like a magnet, pulling more and more of your mental energy towards it, organizing it, solidifying it. It literally starts a chain reaction in your mind.
So what happens when you keep this up? You've been consistent, day in, day out, you've honored that small vow. What's the ultimate payoff? Well, this is where you start to see the real magic happen.
Think about the old way. We all know what this feels like, right? It's that constant, exhausting fight against cravings, feeling guilty when we slip up, that tension and anger at ourselves. It's like we're always pushing a boulder uphill, just running on fumes of temporary motivation.
But after this crystallization process, the struggle just ends. It's a fundamental shift. You're not becoming a better fighter. The fight itself just becomes unnecessary.
And here it is. This is the whole point. You stop resisting. A strong, crystallized will doesn't need to fight bad habits, because those habits become irrelevant. They just fall away naturally, because there's no unstable, disorganized mental space for them to take root in anymore. This is what's called automatic reform.
And you know, the best part of this whole concept is that it's not some abstract theory you have to ponder. It is completely actionable. It's something you can begin
literally right now.
So here's the entire game plan boiled down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, choose one tiny, manageable seed vow. Step 2, commit to it absolutely. No excuses, no exceptions. And step 3, just let the incredible power of consistency do the heavy lifting and build your will for you.
So that brings us to the final, and really the most important part of all of this. It's time to move from just understanding this idea to actually doing it. So the question is, for you right now, what is the one small vow you're going to start today to begin forging your own crystal of will?